thinking about a long-term retreat process, and how do you go about doing that? So the first step is to really just start having that conversation. And I think this is the last one, the last non-structural adaptation measure that we discussed are policy measures. So we did an ordinance review. We looked at 4 town ordinances, and the purpose of this was to just identify areas in the ordinances where the language could be up.
Really draft ordinance language, and there are still many steps to this before anything would even be official. So this is just very high level to start the discussion. And that is actually, I think I did.
Higgins Beach had a pilot project, and that was looking at shoreline stabilization measures for that stretch along Bayview Avenue that doesn't have a revetment. And then Pine Point, we have drafted a homeowner adaptation guide. So what are the steps you would really go through to elevate your home if you wanted to? Higgins Beach had a pilot. The first one we'll talk about is Payne Road. So here is a figure showing Payne Road, which is highlighted in green. That's the area that would be at risk of flooding. And then 3 different flood scenarios. So these all represent a 100-year storm. In present day is blue, 2050 is yellow, and 2100 is red. So the options that we looked at, well, we just looked at elevating the road, but we looked at a couple of different elevations, and then talked a little bit through that, what it would mean to do nothing there. But really what we're looking at is elevating the road and replacing the culvert in those 3 crossing locations. So Dunstan River, Finnard Brook, and Beaver Brook. Those culverts could all be sized to be larger to help promote that salt marsh growth as part of this adaptation plan. This would likely be a very expensive project. There are a lot of grant opportunities for this type of work. And especially if you were to put larger culverts in those locations, there are a lot of grant opportunities for that promotion of salt marsh growth, and it is considered a nature-based solution to put in a larger culvert. So you start to have access to more funding when you add these other elements to it.
Just worth noting that the top end, the arrow on the top of the screen is
The top,
Promotion of salt marsh
bulb
growth,
shown here on
and
the
it
screen
is
is Discovered
considered
Over Route.
a
Right.
nature-based solution. So it's actually the one on Payne Road, but the arrowhead itself is right above that Scotto Hill Road crossing. So there's two right kind of side by side there.
but that's the one that we're confronting now. We have a failed system and need to figure out how to solve that.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a potential for addressing both of these places at once. Probably cost savings in terms of construction.
But that's the one that we're confronting. now. We have a
As you
failed
know,
system and
Route
need to
One
figure
is
out how to
undergoing an
solve that.
adaptation study for DOT. It is likely many years
Yeah.
out. Payne Road and Route One are the
Yeah,
two
I've
main
heard
roads to get
that.
across town, and so there is a potential that you could design and elevate and construct Payne Road before Route One is complete to have at least one way to get through town during storm events. As part of this pilot project, we did refine the flood risk a little bit. On Payne Road, GEI was separately from this project, but involved in the Route One adaptation study with DOT. So we have some more detailed actual mapping
I told him, I
results
said-
of Payne Road, so we could see
Right.
how flood levels
Yeah, I told him, I was like,
or reduced by the time they get to Payne Road. So the water level that you're gonna see at Ferry Beach, High Point, is not the same water level that you will see at Payne Road. It
Pretty significantly, I think it's about 1